I mean to say that I was just able to download the exe file.
Oh, okay, okay. Download the exe file, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now you are having the same computer currently?
No, I'm not, because that is still having the issue with sound, and yesterday I was so late from office, so couldn't contact you for that.
Okay.
Uh,
No
I don't
worries.
have the
If
PC
today,
with
if
me.
possible, you just let me know, okay? Or tomorrow before the
Yeah.
class, we'll see it. Okay. That will
Okay,
be better.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that will be better.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's it, right? Anything else? Any one of you?
No.
No, right? Okay, fine. Okay, now in yesterday's class, we went ahead and installed the Java. Okay, and the same Java, if you want to install on Windows 10 and all, okay, all you can do is you can go to right click on this computer, okay, properties. Once you install it, you have to go to advanced system settings, environmental variables, and here you have to create this Java home like this. Okay, click on new, write Java home here and write its value here. Okay, this is Java home and this its value. And once you are done with this, you have to say in the path variable, you will already have something related to Java. If you don't have it, if you don't have it here, okay, or it is the older one, if it is you have installed Java 1.8 and you are saying the in the path variable you are saying the older version of Java, maybe 1.6 or something. If it is already there, then edit it. Okay, edit it and type your new thing. But if it is not at all there, then you click on new and just type it. Okay, that's the thing. It's the same what we do for Windows 7 or Windows XP and Windows Vista. Okay, not much difference, guys. Now, what we need to see today is, now that we have downloaded Java, okay, downloaded JDK, how to go ahead and compile a Java program, and then we will see how to execute a Java program. Okay, these are the two things involved, guys. Now, so we will go ahead and write our first Java program. Okay, I'll just create a temporary folder, and in the meantime, you guys, if you don't have any questions, you guys can be in the mute, and whenever you have question, you can unmute yourself and ask me the question.
Okay.
Yeah, and say B28. Okay, I'm just creating this folder called B28. Okay, and I will create a file called as, you know, hi.txt. Okay, hi.txt. Okay, now these kinds of things, whatever I'm showing you right now, you will not be doing it in real life. Okay, because real life you will not be writing any code on a notepad or something. Okay, you will be using some IDEs like Eclipse. We will see, okay, what are IDEs and all. Okay, but this is just for the understanding purposes. And if I open this, okay, it's completely empty file, and I will write public class hi. Okay, I'll write something like this. You will not understand for next couple of sessions, you will not understand what is this public. Okay, don't be worried, we will be able to understand what is this public means. Okay, but this is not the right time, guys. To understand this public, you should know something called as objects in Java. Okay, so even if I try to tell you right now, I'll be confusing you. Okay, but as of now, just remember you have to have public, and even if you don't have this public, that's fine. Okay, if you are really getting confused, if you don't have this public, also fine. Okay, now but this is how it will be not most of the times. Okay, it will have this public, and then you will have something like this. Okay, there is nothing I have written. I have written public class high. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, public, I'm not gonna tell you right now what do you mean by public. In Java, everything is a class. Okay, whatever code you want to write, it has to be written inside a class. Okay, and this class named high. Okay, class name is high. It starts from here and it ends here, guys. This is the starting parenthesis and this is the end. Okay, and whatever that you code you want to write, you should be writing it here. Okay, in between these two, you cannot write any code somewhere over here. Okay, so this is what you need to understand at this point of time. Now if you ask me, is this my first program? Yes, I can say yes. This, you can say this is your first program, but there are some problems in it. Okay, now what are those problems? Okay, if it is a Java program, its extension should be dot java instead of dot txt. Extension should be dot java. Okay, that is what you need to understand. So let me just go ahead and quickly do that. Let me change this extension from dot txt to dot java. Okay, now I have changed it into dot java. Okay, now how the execution of a program works, I'll tell you. Okay, now I have written one program. I'm not going to tell you what this program does right now. Okay, I have written something. Okay, I have written a class in Java. Class name is high. Okay, and it starts here and it ends here, guys. Okay, and this public, don't be worried. Now I have written one program in Java. Okay, now any program in Java, if you want to execute any program in Java, it's a two-step process. It's a two-step process, guys. That is, first you have to go ahead and do something called as, say this is your Java program. Okay, and what is the name of that program? Hi.java. This is your program name. Okay, and this particular what you write, okay, this is the program that we have written, right? This is also called as source code, guys. This is called as source code. Now once you have the source code, sorry, yeah, once you have the source code, you have to do something called as compilation, guys. Okay, you have to do something called as compilation. And when you compile the source code, okay, when you compile a source code, you will get something called as similar thing, but previously file name was hi.java. This time you will get a file named hi.class. Hi.class. Okay, when you compile a Java program, you will get a class file. Okay, this is called as source code, and this is called as bytecode. Okay, this is called as bytecode. The compiled Java program is called as bytecode. Okay, and to convert a source code into a bytecode, you have to do something called as compilation in Java. Okay, because why I'm saying you all these things is when you use Eclipse or any other IDE, these things will you cannot see it in Eclipse. Okay, it happens behind the scene. So only for today I'll be showing you how to compile a Java program and then how to execute it. Now once we have the bytecode, we have to do something called as execution in Java. Execution in Java. Okay, sorry guys. Execution, and when you do the execution, you will get the actual output what you wanted to do. Okay, the actual output that you want to do, you will get only by following these steps. First, you have to do the compilation, and then you have to execution. Okay, and you cannot execute a Java source file directly. Okay, you have to execute bytecode. Okay, bytecode. Now how that bytecode looks like, all those things we'll see guys. Okay, but understand these two steps are involved in successful execution of a Java program. Okay, and the output can be anything. Okay, output might be as simple as writing something to the console, for example, hi Priyank. Okay, that might be your output. Okay, hi Priyank, or anything. Okay, or you want to read something from the database. Okay, anything might be your output. Okay, but that output is possible only when you execute the bytecode. Okay, this is the thing guys. Any doubt so far whatever I have discussed?
Mm.
All right guys, thanks a lot. Now this is our source code guys. Whatever we have written, it is our source code. Now I'll go to command prompt. I'm not sure whether this will work. Okay, because in Windows computer we'll always have these problems. This is my command prompt. Okay, and in the command prompt, okay, I'll go to this is my E drive, right? I'll go to E drive. Okay, if right now I'm in C drive users Vishal folder. Okay, if I want to go to D drive, E drive, I will say E colon, and once I have the E colon, I'll just copy this path and I will say cd change directory to this one. Okay, and now I'm in this directory guys. Okay, now how to, and this is not the yesterday's computer what I was using. Yesterday's computer I was using just to show you the initial installation and all. Okay, now if I want to compile this Java program, I will just write something like this: Java C, Java C space hi dot Java. Okay, that is Java C is a command. Okay, and I have to say the file name with the extension. Okay, now if all my environmental variables, everything is properly set, and if the Java is properly getting recognized on my computer, it will gonna compile this Java file if all these things works, and it will gonna give me hi dot class file here. Okay, or okay, let's see guys, press enter. For some reason it is telling me Java. Okay, I have written it wrongly, sorry. I'll say it's Java C guys, CLS. It is Java C, not Java C. Okay, it's the correct command. Now When I enter, see, it gave me something called as hi dot class, and this is nothing but your bytecode, guys. This is nothing but your bytecode. Okay, and if you see here in your computer, okay, when you say Java C, okay, when you say this Java C, you are actually calling one of the file which are there in your computer. Okay, if you have program files, Java JDK 1. JDK 1.8 bin, in bin you will say Java C. You are actually calling this particular file. Okay, this file is basically responsible for compilation of your Java program. Okay, now if I open this hi dot class, okay, how it looks like, okay, that's what we'll be seeing. I'll say edit. See, hi dot class is not in the human readable form. It will not be in the human readable form, guys. Okay, some things you might know and some things you will not understand. Okay, these are all, it's up to your Java to understand what is written in this, what is this and all. Okay, it's not a human readable form. Now there might be a question here. Okay, now let me just delete it and again recompile it. Okay, say java.class, I'm deleting it. Okay, if I do the recompilation here, press enter, it will get generated again and again. Now what I was saying is it will not be in the human readable form, and as many number of times you want to compile it, it will go ahead and get generated. Okay, now if even if it is there and if you compile it, it will override the older one. Okay, that's how it works. Now the question is, this hi dot class, is this the machine language? Is this the machine language? Is this file is in the machine language, that is zeros and ones? No, it's not the machine language, guys. Okay, so when you compile a Java program, the program will not be converted into machine language. Okay, this will not be in the machine language. Bytecode is not the machine language. That's the important thing to know. If at all in C and all, when you do a compilation, okay, I believe compiled code will be in the machine language zeros and one, but that is not the case in Java. It's not, it will not be in the machine language, guys. Okay, that's the important thing to know. When you execute it, when you do the execution, the bytecode will be converted into machine language. Bytecode will be converted into machine language, and then it will be executed on your RAM. Okay, it will be fed to your RAM for the execution. Okay, so source code to machine language. Okay, this is the high level language that they say. Okay, Java or C, any language is high level language. When you compile it, it doesn't get converted into machine language. In case of Java, it doesn't get converted into machine language. Instead, it gets converted into an intermediate language called as bytecode. Okay, which we as a human cannot understand. But Java compiler is designed. Sorry, Java virtual machine. There is something called as Java virtual machine, which we'll be discussing. The Java virtual machine will be able to understand what we have written, guys. Okay, that's the thing. Now, give me 1 minute. Uh, Now next thing is, now how to execute this Java program. Okay, now this byte code, how will I go ahead and execute this byte code? Okay, that's the question, guys. Okay, and can I delete this class file? Okay, yes, you can delete this. Sorry, can I delete this source code? Yes, you can delete it. Okay, once you have the class file. Okay, now if you want to execute this high.class, what you have to do is Java. Okay, this is how the execution happens. Java.exe we are calling. When doing the compilation, we have called Java compiler, javac.exe. Now we are calling java.exe, and we are saying just hi. You need not say hi.class. Okay, you just need to say hi. Okay, now it will not be compiled. It will not be executed, guys. It will give you an error saying that it could not find the main class. It could not find the main class. Okay, main method. Sorry, it could not find the main method. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to execute it. The main method found in not found in class hi. Okay, that is what it says. It is saying the main method is not found in class hi. What is this main method and all? We'll be discussing it, guys. Okay, that is the thing. What is this main method? We're discussing it. So one thing to note here is, if you want to compile a Java file, only this much is enough. Okay, only this much. Class name, and this braces, that is more than enough. But you won't be able to use it. Okay, it's not of any use, guys. Okay, you just can compile it, but you cannot execute it. That is the first thing you need to know. How to execute it, and to execute a Java program, what is needed, that we'll be seeing, guys. Okay, any doubts here, any one of you? If no doubts, you need not unmute yourself. Okay,
No doubt, just a question.
yeah, go ahead.
So what is the difference between compilation and execution?
Okay, the difference between compilation and execution is, in case of compilation, the RAM will not be involved, guys. Okay, means if at all you have say you are writing some program, okay, like this. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, bye bye. Okay, now say you have a program. Okay, sorry, not here, not bad. You want umbrella? Okay, now say you're writing a program. Say, int x is equal to 100 divided by 0. Okay, and it is inside some class. Okay, now what happens is, when you compile this program, okay, you say, you consider you are writing some program. Okay, it is there inside something like this. Okay, you are writing this line inside some class. Okay, something like this. Now when you compile it, okay, if you see this code, okay, this code should not work. That's because when you try to divide 100 by 0, okay, it will result into infinity, guys. It will result into infinity. Okay, and now you cannot store infinity into some variable. Okay, this int x is a variable here. When you compile it, it will not gonna give you any kind of error. That's because I'll tell you the compilation in C world. Okay, because when you compile it, whatever, say if this public is there, and in bytecode public is written like this, okay, something like pub, okay, pub, and class is written like cli, okay, cli, okay. So whatever that is written, okay, that whatever that is written, it will be converted into some other intermediate language, that's it. That is what is happening in the compilation. Okay, now equivalent of everything, okay, int, okay, in the bytecode world, okay, if the int is written like this, okay, in something like this, something in123, okay, so it will be converted from whatever you have written in the English like letter to some intermediate word, okay, in case of Java, okay. But in case of C, this is compilation, okay. The same compilation in C, what happens is everything, okay, say your, this is public, okay, everything will be in the machine language, okay. The public in the machine language is say 0100011101, okay. This is what is the public, okay. Now the class is written like 01 something, okay. It is like zeros and one combination, okay. In this way it will be written, that's it. It is like compilation is nothing but you're converting this English like characters into some other characters. And what is the need for this one is, when you're trying to execute, and there is some time involved, okay, when you want to convert this source file into, you know, machine code or this byte code, there is some time involved, guys, okay, some time involved, okay. Say it takes around 10 seconds, okay, 10 seconds it will not gonna take for such a simple application. Say it gets 10 seconds, okay. What they want to do is when they want to execute this, okay, when they want to execute it, okay, that time they don't want to do this particular task, okay. When they want to execute it, they want to just do what this program is supposed to do, okay. They don't want to get involved in converting your source code into the machine code, okay. That is the main idea behind the why they go ahead and do a compilation before doing the execution. This is the main reason, guys, okay. They don't want to waste time, okay. That is the only thing. Now, so whatever you give, it will be compiled, guys, okay. Whatever you give, a machine equivalent will be generated. But when you execute it, that's when 100 will be, machine will try to divide 100 divided by 0, and it will comes out to be infinity, and your program will give some error saying that I cannot handle this particular situation, because you are trying to assign an infinite value to integer x, okay. This is all happens in execution. So in the compilation mode, it just checks whether the syntax of your program is correct, that's it. The when you run that particular code, what will gonna happen, your computer has no idea at the time of compilation. It's only about the syntax, but the execution, that's when your computer knows, when you execute, what this program does. That is the only difference between compilation and the execution, and they break it into two things. That's because to save the time, okay, to save the time. So we will see there is something called a just-in-time compiler, okay, JITC, that we'll be seeing in Java, okay. Any other doubt? So in the compilation, it's definitely about the syntax, guys, just the syntax. And once it gets compiled, there is no problem with the syntax, okay. It means that syntactically your program is correct, okay. Now while it is running, if it throws some exception like this or some problem in the program, or you are trying to read a file, okay, file at you are trying to read a Excel file which is at this location, and before you are running that file, before you are running your executing your program, if someone deletes this file, your program will gonna generate some error, correct? Okay, so that is all happens in the runtime. So execution is a runtime, and the compilation, it's just the compilation time, wherein the execution will you're just checking for the syntax, guys. Okay, and now to give you a brief idea, uh, I'll just close this, don't know. Okay, I'll just delete this, and I will say, instead of class.java, if I say class one here. Now if I try to compile this program, sorry, now if I say Java C hi dot Java, it will gonna give you the compilation error, because class one is not a identifiable thing, guys. Okay, class is a reserve word. Okay, there are something called as reserve words in Java, okay, that we'll be seeing. This public, it has a predefined meaning. Class is a predefined meaning. Okay, this name can be anything, whatever name that you want to give. Okay, so according to this, class one is not a reserve word. Okay, now if I try to execute it, I mean compile it, it will gonna give you the compilation error. That's because it will check, just a minute. See, it is saying it is giving you an error here now. Okay, error in this particular line, it says. Okay, with this it's saying error in this. Okay, that is what it is saying. So compilation is basically you are checking for the syntax, okay, whether the syntax is correct or not. That's it, guys. And now when the compilation fails, see, you don't get any dot class file. Okay, now if I,
So,
yes, yeah, go ahead.
so during compilation, we getting all the errors related to syntax, right?
Yes, that's correct. All the errors related to syntax. Any error related to syntax, we'll
Okay.
get it. That's correct. Yes. Now if I rerun this, see, it will have this dot class file. Okay, now I have this dot class file, and now someone changes it. Okay, someone changes it, say 123. Okay, now if you try to execute, okay, now try to not try to execute, you try to compile again. Okay, dot class file will be still be there. That's because, see, dot class file is still there. That's because that's the older dot class file when it was successfully compiled. Okay, this one will always give you an error right here, and you can still execute the older dot class file. That's what you need to understand. Okay, but in our case it's not possible because we don't have something called as main method in our class. Okay, any other doubt, guys? Any one of you? Okay, fine, guys. Now say this is our correct syntax. Okay, now there is something called as main method in Java. Okay, main method in Java, you will write something like this: public static void main, okay, string args. Okay, now again the similar doubts. Okay, what is this public, what is this static, what is this void, what is this main, what is the string and args. Okay, the same similar doubt, guys. Okay, similar doubts, whatever we had here for the public. And let me tell you, this is not the time wherein, even if I tell you about the static or public, okay, you will not understand. Okay, and this string args. Okay, sometimes they will ask you in the interview, instead of string args, if I say string Priyank, string Priyank, will it work? Yes, it will work. But why it will work? That is what we will be learning when we go for something called as arrays. Okay, most of the people will not know whether that will work or not, but some people will know, yes, it will work. Why it works? Okay, now instead of public, if I make it as, if I remove this, will it work? No, it won't work. Okay, so there are some couple of things. Okay, and at this point of time, if I tell you public, static, void, I'll be probably be confusing you guys. Okay, I'll be definitely be confusing you. Okay, because for understanding all these things, public, static, these things, arrays, okay, this is array concept. Okay, you need to know something called as objects. This one, first thing what we'll be learning is not today's class. When we learn about methods in Java, that day we will be learning first void. Okay, that's the thing. This main is the name. Okay, that we'll be seeing, guys. Now consider this. Now any program that you write in Java, you have to have public. This is the syntax. Okay, it starts here and it ends here. Okay, now you should know like this. Okay, there will be a class. Inside class you will have methods. Okay, methods. Okay, now if you ask me what are methods, methods are, they will say, group of some lines of code. Okay, group of some lines of code which does a specific task. Okay, a specific task. Now this definition you will not be able to understand right now unless I teach you methods in Java. Okay, and today I'll not be teaching you methods in Java, guys. Okay, we'll be seeing some other concepts, okay, related to execution and compilation. That's it. Okay, but understand one thing: if you want to run a Java program, you need to have a class like this. You say public or you remove the public, doesn't matter. But most important thing is you should have something called as main method, and main method has to be written exactly like this. It should be public, static, void, main, string. This doesn't matter. Okay, so I'll, as of now, I'll just say args and these two brackets. Okay, you should have the main method, okay, to execute a program. Okay, now if you see here, cmd, if you say equal cd. Okay, now if I execute this Java space hi, okay, it will give you the error. That's because we have not compiled this. Whatever compiled file is there, hi.class, it's an old compiled file. It has compiled at 7:52 and right now the time is around 7:59. So whatever we have written, it has not been compiled. So I'll save this, save. Now I'll do a compilation. Okay, I'll do a compilation first. Okay, that is javac space hi dot java. Now I'm doing compilation. It will get compiled. It got compiled. Now if I execute, and if you see that the time also got changed, okay, it's now 7:59. Now if I go ahead and run Java file, java.hi, it will get executed, but you will not see any output. See, it got executed. There is no error. Okay, that's the thing that you need to know. But you don't see anything on the console either. Okay, it got executed. How can you just say for sure it got executed? We will write something on the console. Okay, we'll write something on the console. Now, if you want to write something on the console, you have to say system dot out dot println. I'll say this is B28. Again, you might be having the similar doubt. Okay, it's not comma, it's a full stop. Okay, similar doubt. What is the system? What is this out? What is this println? Okay, don't be worried, guys. Okay, we will be learning every bit of it. Okay, you have to know the objects to understand everything. Okay, and believe me, guys, whatever we are learning currently or next couple of classes, it's not actual Java. It's the general concept in all the programming languages. Your actual Java will start only when I start something called as objects in Java. Objects in Java. Okay, objects in Java. So I have added something like this. Okay, just understand as of now. If you write something on the console, okay, you have to say system.out.println, and whatever text you want to write, put it under double quotes. Okay, and every executable line in Java should end with semicolon, guys. Okay, like here, what you see here, every executable line in Java should end with a semicolon. That's what you need to understand. Okay, now let me save this and let me execute it. No output. Oh, okay, we have not compiled it. So any changes that you do, you have to compile it, correct? Yeah, we will compile it. Now we compiled it. Now if we execute it, it will show, hi, this is B28, it is same. Okay, this is all it takes to compile and execute a Java program. And all these things, whatever we have done today from the beginning, you will not gonna see when you use an IDE like integrated development environment like NetBeans or uh, you know Eclipse. You will not gonna see it, guys. Okay, all you will be seeing is, you're not gonna see, you'll just see this output. When you run it, you're gonna see the output. Okay, but this is very important for your understanding how it works behind the scene. Okay, under the hood, how it works, guys. Okay, that is important to know. And if you change it to something else, say something else like this, okay, something else like this, and if I execute it, java.hi, it will still say this is B28. So you have to compile it and then execute it, and you'll be good to go. See, whatever changes we had made, it is reflecting, guys. Okay, that's the thing. Any doubts, any one of you? If any doubts, you can unmute yourself. If not, you can be unmuted. Okay, fine, guys. Now Just a minute. They say, what are the features of Java? Okay, what are the features of Java? They will say it's secure, this, that, and all. It is fast, secure, and a lot of things. Okay, that's all. I mean, it's just a marketing thing, guys. Okay, like how that there is a program called JavaScript. I hope you guys know that. Okay, there is a program called JavaScript. Okay, and they have named it as JavaScript. That's because that time Java was the Java what we are learning that time during 90s or 80s. It was very famous. Okay, Java was very famous. Okay, and they want to utilize the popularity of Java. Okay, but there is popularity of Java, so these people named their programming language as JavaScript. But to be frank, there is absolutely no connectivity between Java and JavaScript. Okay, in the same way, when you read online, okay, when they say Java is fast, Java is secure, okay, it's like, it's like any other programming language, guys. Okay, it's like any other programming language. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's like any other programming language. Okay, so if you ask me, the C is much more faster than Java. Okay, so that's how it is. And every program has its purpose, intended purpose. So C might be fast in some cases, and Java might be fast in some cases. JavaScript might be faster in some other cases. Okay, so that's all depends. Okay, but one thing that you can take out in Java's case is there's something called as OS independent. Okay, or they say platform independent. Platform independent. Okay, and they will say platform independent. One more way is write once, execute anywhere, and any number of times. Okay, this is what you will see in the online tutorials. Okay, they are saying, see, I'm a developer and I'm writing my code in Windows computer. Okay, I'm writing my code in Windows computer, and this code works fine on the Windows computer. This code, whatever I have written, works fine on Windows computer. But if I copy this file, okay, copy this file, go to Linux, say it is not working, and it gives you some error. In that case, it means that it is not platform independent. Your programming language is platform dependent in that case. So they might ask you in the interview, or this is important to know, and most of the people will not know this. Okay, believe me, they'll ask you, so if I write Java source file, okay, if I write Java source file, and if I copy this source file and go to the Linux or go to Mac, okay, or go to some other OS, Android, and if I execute it, will it work? The answer is there is no guarantee that it will work. There is absolutely no guarantee that it will work. Then if there is no guarantee, how do you say that it is platform independent? How do you say Java is a platform independent? That's because there is no guarantee that this thing will work, source file will work. But if you give class file to someone, he can go to any OS which supports Java. Okay, any OS, you maybe, Mac OS or Linux or anything. Okay, Android, okay, iOS, anything, go anywhere, it will work. That is the main reason they say Java is platform independent. Okay, it's not that source file is platform independent, but once you have written the source file, okay, you have written the source file and you give it to, say, Linux, okay, Linux, and when you compile on the Linux, you might get some error, guys. Okay, compilation, you might get error. Okay, but it compiles fine and executes fine in Windows. Okay, but if once you compile it, once you convert it into a bytecode in any one of the machine, successfully convert it into bytecode in any environment, then that bytecode can be executed anywhere on any environment. Okay, that's the reason they say Java is platform independent. Okay, it's not the Java source code, guys, but it's a bytecode. And this is one of the noteworthy feature of Java. Okay, that is what one of the major reason for its popularity. Okay.
So, Vishal, are we saying that not uh, OS independent?
uh, yes, it is OS independent. You can say Java is OS independent. Okay, but when they say, it's like, it's not that source file is independent. Okay, so that, I mean, most of the people doesn't know this, but it's not the source file which is independent, it is class file which is independent. So if at all you have written one program, okay, and you want to make sure that you release it, okay, you release it to the market, okay, or else you are giving it to your friend, say, boss, you can use this file and it works fine. Okay, you should, ideally you should be giving him to the compiled version, the dot class file. That's because if you give the dot class file, you can be very much sure that without doing any changes to the dot class file, he'll be able to use those dot class files. Okay, that is the thing.
So can we convert that compiled code, like bytecode, into the Java code?
That's a good question, and the answer is no. Okay, and that is what adds to the security of your Java program. That's what adds to the security of Java Coda program. Okay, so the question is, you have the bytecode, okay, and the bytecode looks like this. Bytecode looks like something like this. Not this here, it got corrupted. Bytecode looks like this. Can we convert this bytecode into a source code? Absolutely not. Okay, and that is what adds to the security of Java program. Say, but that's what, if at all you are giving the bytecode, your friend cannot make any changes to the code. He does anything, your file will be corrupted. If he does anything here, your file will be corrupted and he cannot use this file anymore. Okay, so if the intention is, if at all your friend want to modify the code, okay, according to his needs, okay, say you have written some code and you want him to modify some code and use it for his purpose, okay, and his purpose is not exactly same as yours, in that case you will be giving the source file, not the bytecode. If you give the bytecode, he cannot make any changes to the file. Okay, and that is what it helps in, what they say is security in the sense, you want to you want to give your code, okay, you have an application, okay, and your application is perfectly fine, and okay, maybe you have patented it, okay, and you don't want that code to be given to someone else, okay, the code itself, because there are all chances that if at all you give the code, okay, and if at all your project was named Priyank dot something, okay, then that person might go ahead and just copy the code, your entire code, and he will release his release it into the market saying it's his own product. Okay, so if you don't want to give the source code to anyone, that is when this particular bytecode sharing comes into picture. You cannot get the source code from the bytecode. Okay, there is something called as decompiler, but it 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 tends to show you decompiler. Okay, in Java. Okay, it tends to show you what might be the source code. Okay, if you give the bytecode to this decompiler, it tends to show you what might be the source code, but it will not gonna give you the exact source code. Okay, the exact source code you will not gonna get. That is the thing. And the answer is no. You cannot convert. Cannot get back the bytecode from the. Sorry, you cannot get back the source code from the bytecode, and that is what adds to the security of your Java program. Okay, and when we learn some of the other APIs, okay, you will see there is a major difference between open source say you there are a lot of free software on the internet, correct? There are lots of free softwares on the internet. Say there are two categories. When a software is free, there are two categories. One is free software. Okay, to use that software you need not pay anything. And then there are softwares called as open source softwares. Now the free software, if at all I'm writing a software, okay, I'm just giving it to free of cost, okay, to anyone who wants to use it. I will not probably give this source code. I will just give the byte code, okay. You just need to use it. But it's an open source, it is free, okay. When it comes to open source, it is by default it is free, and I will also give the source code. Whoever wants the source code of my project, I'll be able to give the source code as well. That is the difference between free software and the open source. Okay, and Java will have your back covered in these kinds of scenarios. Okay, when you want to give something free of cost, but you want to make sure the source code doesn't get exposed, then you have a choice now. Just give the bytecode, guys. Any other doubt, or if this is not clear, let me know. Anyone? Shika? Okay. All right. Now that's it, guys. Okay, and next what we'll be doing is, and this is what I wanted you guys to know about the compilation and the execution, okay, without using Eclipse IDE. Okay, and the problem is, see, every time we do some changes into the program, I have to compile it manually. Okay, and instead of instead of MAIN, if I say MAN, okay, and if I try to compile this, okay, it will give me an error. Okay, so it's like we have to be very careful when we are using Notepad, and in the industry no one will be using the Notepad. In the industry no one will be using the Notepad. Everyone will be using some IDEs, okay, like NetBeans or IntelliJ or Eclipse. Okay, so see, MAR Java C space i.java. Okay, it got compiled.
You didn't save.
I didn't save, I just saved it now. What's the problem? Close all these things. i.java man public static void man and let me Java C hi.java. Okay.
We
All
tried
right.
to.
No. Correct. It is correct. What Java is doing is correct. What we are doing is wrong. Okay, not wrong as such. This is not the keyword, guys. Okay, this method can be
Yeah.
anything. It can be Vishal also. Okay, it will compile. Okay, it will compile fine, but when you execute it, no, it will give you an error. Java hi. Okay, it will give you an error. Main method cannot be found. Okay, that's the thing. But if you say these are the keywords, okay, public static void, okay, instead of void, if I say POD, and now if you want to compile, okay, now it will give you an error.
That would be bad.
Okay, so that's the thing. Now see, it's giving an error. So that is the thing. So that's it, guys. Okay, that's it about the compilation and execution. If it doesn't work on your computer, okay, that's not a problem, guys. Okay, what should work on your computer is your Eclipse. Eclipse should work on your computer. If this doesn't work on your computer, that's fine. Okay, no problem. But you can try it. Okay, and I'll go ahead and install. I'll go ahead and install something called as Eclipse now. And why we are going for Eclipse? That's because it gives a lot of freedom to us. Okay, a lot of freedom to us. Now to download Eclipse, okay, for today's class I will just show you how to download alone. Okay, sorry about that. And I'll also tell you what to download. That's important. Okay, if you say go to Google and say Eclipse download, okay, Eclipse download, it gives you this particular thing called as Eclipse downloads. And if you go in here, okay, open that thing, okay. Now I was all these days I was using Eclipse, something called as Eclipse Neon. Okay, now I see a new version of Eclipse, that is Oxygen. Okay, all these days I was using Eclipse Neon, but now there is something called as Oxygen, guys. Now when you have something like this, the question is, can I go ahead and click on this download 64-bit? Okay, it identifies your operating system. Okay, when you go to this software, okay, whether depending on the 32-bit or 64-bit, it gives you this choice. Okay, can I go ahead and download this Eclipse right by clicking on this particular link button? And the answer is yes, you can. Yes, you can. But I will not recommend you guys to do that. Not recommended. That's because if you download from here, most probably it will give you .exe file. How for Java we got exe file, right? In the same way we'll get a .exe file. Now what is the problem with the .exe file? If you install this software which is of around 800 MB and all, okay, it will be a kind of a installation, and it will go ahead and sit into your add or remove programs. Okay, if you go in here, add or remove programs, you will see Eclipse being there. Okay, but I don't have it because I have not installed it. Okay, I have not clicked on this download link and double clicking on that ex.exem. I have not installed it. Then if I have not installed Eclipse, what are the other choices? And if you have this installed, it will go ahead and sit into the add or remove programs, and it will always occupy some memory on your RAM. Okay, what is the other choice? Other choice is go ahead and click on download packages. Okay, now download packages will give you .zip file dot zip file. Okay, .zip file, and you can download 32-bit or 64-bit depending on your choice. Now there are a lot of things here, lot of things here, like Java ID for Java EE developers, ETA launcher for Eclipse. I don't know what is this ETA launcher. They're saying Eclipse ID for Java developers, ID for C++ developer, PHP developers. There are a lot of things, but one thing's for sure, in our case it should be either Java Eclipse ID for Java developers, either this or this. Either of these two you have to download. And these are the some of the the older versions of the things. I said, right, I was using Neon all these days. Okay, so now this is the latest one, Oxygen, and before that Mars was there, Luna, Kepler, and there were many more. If you click on this older version, you will get many more. Okay, but don't go beyond Neon, guys. Okay, it should be either Oxygen or Neon. Okay, either of these two. Now what to download, whether you have to download this one or this one. Okay, and what is the difference between these two? Okay, that we'll be seeing in tomorrow's class. What is the exact difference between these two things? Now all you need to do is, depending on your computer configuration, is 32-bit operating system or 64-bit operating system, I recommend you guys to use Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers, not Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Okay, the difference is not much, guys. Okay, you can pretty much do everything in case of Selenium. Okay, in case of Selenium you can do almost everything using this Java Eclipse for Eclipse IDE for Java developers. But this one is basically meant for the Java developers. Okay, the Java developers, those who are building web application or the desktop application. Okay, and it will give you some of the things. For example, I'm not sure whether you guys heard of something called as Tomcat, JBoss. Okay, there are some servers. Okay, if at all you are downloading Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers, then you will get these servers, most of these servers as well. Okay, inside your Eclipse itself. But because that is what is needed for a Java developer. But if at all you are just writing the core Java application, okay, and you are not you're not running writing a web application and all, you can go with this. Okay, but it's always safer to go with the first one. That's because it gives you a lot. Okay, so it's like this. If at all you are downloading Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers, it is Eclipse IDE for Java developers plus something more. When you have something more, get it. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and the exact difference, what might not be there on the in this Eclipse IDE for Java developers, I will be telling you. Okay, but there is not much difference, guys. Okay, you can use, ideally you can use anything, but this is what I'll recommend. Okay, the first one, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. See, this is for the web application and all. Okay, this one is not for the web application. Okay, that's the main difference. Okay, so there is something called as
So what?
yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
So what is the Java double E?
That is enterprise,
I can see
yeah, enterprise
okay.
edition. That is needed for those who wants to develop Java web application. If at all you are uh, developing a web application using Java, you need Java double E. Okay, they also say something called as J2EE. That is a new, I mean, that is the technology that they use for developing the web application using Java. Okay, so J2EE is basically, you can say it's also a jar file. Okay, what is a jar file and all, you will understand. So if at all you have heard of something called a J2EE, that is nothing but Java EE, Enterprise Edition. That is needed if at all you are developing a web application or desktop application and all. Okay, that's the thing.
Vishal, in the evening, if you have time, will try to fix that problem.
Yeah, no issues. What I
Hello.
can do is, once I'm here, okay, once I'm
Mhm.
here, I'll ping you. Okay, you anyway ping me once you are in home. Okay, and
Okay.
if at all I'm in home, I should be able to take remote and see what is the problem. All right.
Yeah, fine.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Can I
Anyway,
drop off?
yeah, you can
No
drop.
doubt.
Yeah, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect, Shiva. Thank you.
Thank you.
Priyank, any other doubt?
No, we shall not now.
Okay, perfect. Were you able
Seems
to install on your computer, or what happened? Any idea?
yeah. Actually, I have formatted it. I have installed Windows 7, but my system is getting restarted again and again.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. Mm-hmm.
I installed 32-bit. I tried installing 32-bit. Uh, it got installed perfectly fine. Like 100 MB partition had been created. But while working, it got restarted again and again. I don't know what is the issue. Is that issue with the Windows 7 installation?
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do is, like, I've asked one of my friend to provide me a new installation, uh, bootable CD for Windows 7 or Windows 8.
Okay. Better you go with
So
Windows 7 itself. Stick to Windows 7.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because this
My next question was like,
Mhm.
which one is the better one, Windows 7 or Windows 8? So
Windows 7, no doubt.
you answered.
Yeah, Windows 7 is the it's like this. Only two things. One is Windows XP was uh, was very good. Okay, it was a rock star, and then the Windows 7. Okay, and the Windows Vista and Windows 8 were flops, and Windows 10 is okay, but it has Windows 10 is okay, but it has still has bugs. That is what they are saying. Okay, but you can blindly believe Windows 7. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So try see what you can do. Okay, and anyway I'll be
Yeah, I
uploading
think
the recordings. Okay.
it will take a couple of more days. But what I can do is I can try installing these things on my office laptop,
Okay.
office
Okay.
computer,
Okay. Okay.
so that whenever I'll be having some bandwidth, I can try it at office timing. So
Yeah.
I can like for download Eclipse वगैरह I need some approvals as well. So once we will be going through Eclipse, I will be taking approvals as well to
Okay.
get it installed.
Perfect. No issues. Then fine, man. Okay. That's a good thing. Okay. And you.
Anyways, I
Mhm.
will, I will be needing it at my office because most of the time I will be there into the office. So it's better if we can have there and we can try it in office as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's better. Okay. Whenever you get time. Okay. Whenever you can make time for yourself, you can do that. Okay, that's that.
Yeah.
And online also some things are there, like for example, some website wherein they will give you the editor. Okay, online editor. Okay, you can go to some editors, okay, and you can write your programs, okay, and you can compile it online itself and see what is the output and all those things. Okay, that is also possible. It will not
Okay.
be fast, but yeah, but you write some small programs and compile and execute, you can do, and it will do. That's the thing. Okay, you
Uh,
can write your programs here. Okay, so that is also possible in case you want to try. This also coding ground also gives you a clean slate. If you say execute, okay, could not find the node name, you first compile it maybe and then execute, you should be able to do that. Okay, so something like this.
okay.
Okay, so that option is also there. See how it is suitable for you as per your needs, and if there is anything, let me know. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
perfect. Yeah. Any other doubt or anything that you have?
Vishal, our timing will be 7 to 8:30, right?
Yeah,
Going
7 to
forward.
8:30. Yes, 7 to 8:30. Yeah,
And it is from Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, Monday to Friday.
And like, what is the timing? Like, we don't have any option to do it in evening. It will be in morning only, right?
Evening, I can give you an option. Even Shika was asking after about 10 days from now, man.
After 10 days.
Yeah, after 10 days, if you want, I can switch it to evening. That is the thing.
Evening at what time?
Evening, it will be 9:30 in night, 9:30.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
So,
it will be a problem for me
okay. So,
because my
what time?
working hours are 12 to 9. So at 9:30 I'll be in the way.
Yeah, even mine is the same thing. Now the current batch which is going on, no, batch number 26. Okay, so it was supposed to start at 9 a.m. 9 p.m. Okay, so I'm not able to make it at 9 p.m. anytime. Okay, so always 9:30 itself I'm struggling. Okay, so what time you reach uh, home normally?
Between 10 to 10:30.
Between 10 to 10:30, right? Okay, anyway, once that batch is over, no, the current batch is over. Okay, if we will discuss with Shika also. Okay, if at all she is also okay. Okay, and because she actually wanted the evening batch. Okay, and I did not have the evening batch currently. So what I told her is like once this batch gets over, I have not promised anything to her. I said we will try to move it to the evening batch. Okay, but if at all she is ready for that time, okay, both are ready, then we can go for the evening batch. Okay, so 10:30 to whatever, okay, timing that you say, if both of you are ready. Okay, but anyway, I'll let you guys know once that batch is over. Okay, and I will let you guys decide, okay, what needs to be done. Okay,
Sure.
no issues. Anything else? Okay,
No. Uh,
nothing, right? Okay, just practice whatever I'm teaching. Okay, and that should take you through. Okay, actually we have not started any programming thing right now. Okay, just this setup thing and all, that's it. No programming we have started it. Okay,
yes. Okay. Fine.
yeah, fine, Priyank, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Vishal. Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye bye.